right, welcome back to Magic Isn't Real, the place where we question magic, but mostly reality. So today I have a message for some of you, and it's something that I thought it was super clear, but apparently, according to some of comments that I'm receiving, maybe it's not. So I want to just be like crystal clear right now and just tell you something that maybe you need to hear, or some of you need to hear, which is if you need and can focus on this word need to believe in telekinesis or chi power or psychokinetic abilities, whatever that is, if you need it because it makes you feel good in your life, it makes you go through your days, your weeks, your months, your years, whatever, by all means, please keep on practicing. I don't care. Just please do it. If you need to sit down in front of a side wheel all day or like half of your day because that's the only way you're gonna manage to survive the rest of your day, please do it. I have nothing against that. But I just want you to acknowledge that that's your own personal experience and therefore your own kind of personal reality, since you like to phrase it that way. I believe there's only one reality that we all share, but sure, if you need that to be the case so you can feel good, then just please, by all means, just keep on going. I'm not here to try to stop you from doing the things that make you happy. I'm gonna give you a concrete example. Like, I love whiskey. And almost every day before I go to bed, I need to have a glass of whiskey. And not just that, I also like to watch cartoons at night. Yes. So every night before I go to bed, I need to have a glass of whiskey and I need to watch a cartoon. That's my thing. But here's the kicker. Every doctor will tell you absolutely not to do that if you want to have a good night of sleep. Do not drink alcohol and do not watch a screen in front of your face right before going to sleep. It's the thing that it's a fact. It's an undeniable fact that you shouldn't do those things before you go to bed. But guess what? I personally cannot go to bed unless I have my glass of whiskey with my One Piece episodes. Point I'm making is that I acknowledge that that's my own thing. And I also acknowledge I'm potentially doing something that's wrong, even if it feels good for me. So what I don't do is that I don't go around trying to convince the rest of the world that I'm right. Because A, I'm not. And B, I don't need to do it. I know it's my own thing that probably only works for me and maybe like some other people. So I don't need to spread the world about the whiskey and cartoon at night. I don't like search the web trying to find that one article that was posted 5 years ago when one guy was like, well, I did this one experiment once that actually proved that you should drink whiskey every night. I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that because I don't need to disprove or prove anything to anybody when I'm doing something that it's only for me and only makes me feel good. I just wanted to make this clear because maybe it wasn't clear what I'm trying to do with this channel. I'm trying to save you from possible scams and fraudster, and maybe I'm trying to provide you with some critical thinking skills, which includes the fact that some of you should acknowledge that if you need to believe in the stuff, it's you, it's for you, it's your own thing. Keep it at that. Don't try to convince the rest of the world that we should all practice telekinesis so that we can all live in peace, when telekinesis hasn't even been proven to be a real thing. And speaking of that, chi. Let's talk about chi energy for a second, because this is also part of the problem that I'm seeing. Like, a lot of you talk about this stuff as if it's a 100% guaranteed proven fact. So many comments talk about chi. And I remember this. I used to be a Qigong practitioner. I was about to become an instructor. I was going to teach other people how to control your chi and how to gain your chi and not having your chi in imbalance, and how to focus on your what is it called? What was it? Dantian. That's what they call it. This, like, in this area over here where you have to focus and collect all your chi. Like, I knew all the stuff. I was practicing all this stuff and I was about to teach it to other people. But guess what? Chi is not a thing. Hold on, don't get mad. What I'm saying is that it's not a fact. Like, some of you talk about chi as if it's like gravity, as if we have an equation that proves it and it's undeniable. It's not. It's not. It's pseudoscience at best. When I was practicing, I remember when I was practicing martial arts, when I was practicing Qigong, it's almost like they brainwash you. They say this word so much and they mention it so casually and so much that for you it becomes like an obvious reality. But the thing is that it's not. It's not. Like, I had comment telling me like, oh, but there's so many instances of people using chi to heal each other. There are also so many instances of people praying to God and their cancer goes away. That doesn't mean that there's a God or that the prayer works. Like, none of this has been, scientifically tested properly. Actually, never mind. It has. And it turned out it's not a thing. But yet we're still having this conversation, which is fine, if you need it to be real for yourself to go about your life. I'm not gonna stop you from that. I will stop you from trying to change everybody's mind that the one thing that you do that makes you feel good is objectively a real thing for everybody that everybody should do, because it's objectively not. Objectively, you might be wrong, or you probably are wrong. Subjectively, do whatever the fuck you want, even if you're gonna hurt yourself, your life. But I need you to acknowledge that chi hasn't been proven as a fact. Telekinesis hasn't been proven as a fact. Prayers, they haven't been proven to work. Any god, you name it, hasn't been proven to exist. You have to acknowledge this. That doesn't deny your own experience, but for everybody in the world, we need to acknowledge this. At least we need to say that we don't know. People don't even agree on one specific definition of chi. So when you say chi, I'm not even sure what it is that you're talking about. Years ago, I talked to a master and he just told me like, no, chi is just breathing. Learning to control chi just means to control your breathing. Which I was like, then why are you calling it chi? Call it breathing. I'm just trying to say that we need to be a bit more open-minded when we talk to each other. Like, I would acknowledge your experience, and I would also acknowledge that maybe this could be a thing that hasn't been proven by science yet. But you also need to kind of understand where I'm coming from. You've done your own research. I've done my own research. Now, if we were in a scientific community, we would be comparing notes. Comparing notes doesn't mean arguing over a thing. It means we're comparing what we have learned, what we have experienced, what we have experimented on to check what's real, what works, and what's not. Which unfortunately means, in most cases, one of us gonna have to be wrong. One of us gonna have to be wrong, the other one's gonna have to be right. Sometimes that could be a possibility where it's something like maybe we were both wrong, but there is still something there. And then guess what? A third person could come in and they could be right and we could be both wrong. That's kind of how it works. Now, this is if you want to prove something in reality. But if you just want to do your own thing because it makes you feel happy, then I highly recommend that don't go through this process. If you're not ready to admit that you are wrong, trust me, leave it at that. If you need that thing, if you need that belief, or you're just don't jump into this thing. Some of you don't believe this, but I am prepared. I am so ready to be proven wrong. I'm so ready. This isn't, a lot of you keep on saying, oh, you made up your mind, nobody's gonna convince you. No. Someone will, if this thing is real, because I am convinced that you can't deny reality. Reality eventually catches up. So I'm if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'm ready for it. I am prepared. My world is not gonna collapse. But if yours might, then don't. Then trust me, just don't. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Once again, this was a video. There's a lot of comments that I see, and sometimes it's easier to make a video like this to address kind of like a general discussion instead of me spending a lot of time having to go one by one. As much as I like to go back and forwards in the comment, I don't have the time to. So sometimes I'm going to start doing this every once in a while. If I notice a general topic that's happening a lot in the comment, I will just make one of this video to clarify a certain point. I hope you like it. I would love to hear your feedback. And if you're still here, well, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. If you want to learn some magic, remember I have a Patreon page where there's a lot of like tricks. Some of them are original, some of them are other things that I'm allowed to teach you. There's also a bunch of behind the scene you might you might enjoy it. And seems a bit obvious, but like, please, to show to me that you watched the video until the end, give me your definition of chi, but wrong answer only. Let's see what happens. I'll see you next time. Peace out. No, I can't end on a fail. Peace out.